Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. So, today on the workbench, well, there's not really anything happening. I did upgrade the Soulberry, the Tees guitar, and now it is housing the Joe Satriani signature pickups. And when I saw the Soulberry guitar, I knew that it would look really, really nice with the chrome. I ordered them specifically like this. They come, you can order them, these DiMaggios, in any sort of color configuration that they offer. So, but with the Soulberry purple with the black trim, it's a really nice contrast. And when I added the bridge, just a little bit of intonation needed to be done. But other than that, with the body and the neck being basically one unit, the playability really does remain the same. Now, if this bridge did not line up correctly, I wouldn't have used it. It's important to, when you're doing your upgrades, to make sure that you're using parts that, especially the bridge, because the intonation is really set for this neck. And so with this Wilkinson bridge, it's pretty much dead on. And so the playability is going to remain the same. But this is a great unit for that kind of stuff too, if you're wanting to upgrade your stuff. Let's see, I think the Bald Shredder recently did a video on the Tees guitar. I'm not too impressed with that guy. But anyway, the word I think is already kind of out there that, with the owner of the company, you really do get an amazing guitar, and you get someone who's actually interested in your opinion. And when they're doing the setup, you're getting quality strings, you're getting a quality setup for pennies on the dollar. Right out of the box, it's just a wonderful unit. You can't go wrong with that. So I think that's the best out of the box experience I have had, definitely, because every other import guitar has been pretty much a headache. Well, not really a headache, but it takes work. I think that's why I actually have a workbench, because it's important to have the space to kind of do that, and the tools and the proper tools to kind of get all those things done, because you really need to spend time and dedicate yourself to that particular setup with the knowledge and the understanding of what you're doing. That's an important thing also. So all right, guys, it's been pretty busy here. So what I'm going to be doing pretty soon is I'm going to be working on computers. So my other hobby in life is computers. I've been building custom computers and fixing and doing all that stuff for about 15 years. And I was I went down to San Diego to get a haircut, which is kind of ridiculous, but this one guy who's been cutting my hair, he's been doing it for almost 20 years. So, he's got a lopsided head like me, so I trust him with my hair. Anyway, I was down at Micro Center. I picked this up. I'm going to be putting together a new system. My son from Arkansas is going to be coming and visiting me soon. So I'm actually going to clear off a lot of this and set up another system, so that when he's visiting, we both have time when we're winding down to sit down and enjoy the things that we like to see on the internet. And I'm going to give him dibs in the one in the bedroom. So I'm going to kind of be messing around with here. I hope this doesn't turn into a long video, but lots going on. So I actually bought this monitor, 4K monitor, a really good deal from a guy locally here for $100. And I was kind of using that because I'm going to put that there, and kind of washing out this one unit my friend gave to me before I get rid of it. I'm basically giving these away. They're really outdated. Here's an Alienware tower that I'm basically flipping. It's a good tower, but again, I went through it. I don't trust anything that I buy from somebody. I don't know if they're hackers or what, but for me, I need to go through the system, wash it clean, reload it, and it's running Windows 11. it was a natural migration, so no worries there. That's really good to go. So I ended up buying some computer parts from Amazon. I'm going to be, for the first time, building a computer with the latest processors. So I chose an Intel i5 14th generation. That's 1-4, 14th generation. Yeah, and so, and I'm, kind of doing it on the budget, but everything's going to be brand new. And with the case, yeah, I'm kind of, was down at Micro Center looking at cases, and well, this is okay. I actually bought another case from Amazon, a more preferred case, but I'm anxious because all of my parts are supposedly coming today through that door. And so this is going to I'm going to keep this case no matter what. It's a nice case. I can use it for a future build or whatever, but I'm going to just kind of throw everything in there. Another thing I want to do, guys, is do a little sound clips of some of the guitars that I've gotten recently. I haven't really done a sound clip. The Ibanez, that's a wonderful sounding guitar with the DiMaggios. I was going to do a little bit back-to-back with the Firefly Les Paul, and then with the Ffmn Les Paul. I've seen a lot more videos on this one, so it's been the Alex Lifeson kind of thing. It's gotten a lot of good feedback from other players and stuff like that, but I think definitely really, really nice, and so that would be interesting. And I was comparing it to this one, and they both have their own thing, but they're both really, really nice guitars. In my closet, like I said, I have so many other instruments that I got to get to be playing and just kind of really familiarize myself again, because having a collection of guitars just sit around is kind of pointless unless you're going to break them out. So I need to reorganize this. I have a couple more underneath my bed, and actually something over there. I'm going to be selling a few units. I don't know, like the red headless guitar. But in my closet, on this side of it anyway, I have a lot of computer parts that are, it's dedicated to computer stuff, because I've been building computers for so long. I got boxes full of shit, man. And one of them was like these fans. I don't know where, I might have got them from Temu. I have no clue how to hook them up. It doesn't take me long to figure out whether or not I can even hook them up. But I got parts for days. Like this stuff, from the early 2000s. A friend of mine from work gave me this MacBook Pro because his daughter cracked the screen. I think he's given up on it. I've had it now for like 4 months, and I don't think he wants to pay me to do the work. So I'm like, okay, I might fix it myself, just for the hell of it, and then he'll be forced to pay me because it's a nice laptop. I think he paid like $1,200 for that, so I might just go ahead and fix it and tell him, yeah, I got it up and running. If you want to, just got to pay me for my time and stuff. So yeah, I want to do a sound clip on that, maybe in the next video, to kind of keep things down. But I'm just kind of bringing you up to date on where I'm at. So my next video, I want to do a sound clip with the new guitars, with the Telecaster, which is great. I'll talk about the saddles that I bought, the brass saddles, and what I discovered about the saddles that it originally came with. And a sound comparison with this Firefly Tally, which to me is just an awesome unit, man. It really is. Just look at that. It's just like really nice, and that back heel is an amazing. This is still an amazing guitar. Feels good in my hands. Plays great. Sounds good. Looks amazing. And that's the one thing about the Firefly. However, unlike the Tees guitars, you gotta set these up, man. Sometimes the stainless steel frets, they don't come polished. They just don't. And so you're gonna have to do some work to them. And then if you're changing strings like I did here to the Alex Lifeson. Oops. Is that official ding? Probably. Yeah, you got to set these up too, you know. Probably one of the better Epiphone Les Pauls you can pick up for the money. I mean, don't forget, I got $500 off on this, and they're still selling them on Sweetwater, $12.99. Um, and I do agree that where the Floyd Rose sits, that the volume knobs are kind of like a little bit out of the way. So there's some pros and cons to this, but overall, I mean, and it sounds kind of different, yeah. But really nice heel. I like the gloss on this one. It's not tacky, man. I don't know what finish they're really using on this, but compared to some other finishes, this feels actually kind of good. And can you imagine with the new Epiphone Les Pauls that they're charging, you know, close to $900? This thing is just blowing it out of the water. However, the original price is $12.99. I got this at the same price as some of the other models, so that's why I picked it up with the hard case and all the ear candy. So that's a winner chicken dinner, guys. A little note on, I don't know if you know this YouTube channel, Too Vintage, but if you guys are into anybody fixing motorcycles, this is an excellent channel. I am such a big fan of this guy who owns this massive property out east, out west, wherever the hell. It's out east somewhere. He's got this huge property, but this guy is a very intelligent guy who fixes all kinds of motorcycles, ATVs, you name it. He's involved. He's just got knowledge, but his narration of what he's doing is second to none. He's got the best narration of what he does when he gets into working on a motorcycle, whether it be 2-cylinder, 4-cylinders, or dirt bikes or whatever. This guy naturally is a good communicator, and I love watching his channel. He was actually struggling with this unit for a while. He actually did 3 videos, and then in this particular one, he finally gets it up and running. But this guy can break down anything. He's got like the master tool set, man. He gets really in there, but such an amazing guy. And I have to give him kudos, man, because he's really inspirational. He makes you want to get out and get dirty with your hands and get hands-on. You know, a lot of guys don't like to get hands-on. This guy's all hands-on with motorcycles, and I really appreciate guys like that. So yeah, I'm going to be getting hands-on with computer stuff, so I won't probably be doing any buying of any guitars, except for one guitar I recently bought, because I actually sold a couple guitars. The telly's in the case there. I got to get things organized here in my house, my senior apartment, but here it is. Yeah, you know what that is. So I went ahead and popped the cork on the new Firefly Purple Ffmn. Yeah, she's a beauty, man. Wonderful instrument. I ended up selling my blue one to a really nice guy and his family. He was looking for some guitars for his kids because they're really talented kids, and he reached out to me about one of my Fender Strats that he was actually looking at. But he saw my Facebook video of my guitar collection. He goes, "Oh, you got that blue Ffmn. I was wanting to buy one, but they ran out." So yeah. So anyway, long story short, wonderful guy buying some guitars for his children, talented kids, and so I ended up selling him. Well, he actually wanted not just the Fender, but they fell in love with the other Firefly, and so I was more than glad to sell it to him, because you know I have so many instruments. As long as it's going to a good home, yeah, it was a wonderful thing. And this thing, of course, you know, one thing about Firefly, they're great instruments, but the reality is you have to spend time with these instruments. You know, the strings that every Firefly comes with, they're just horrendous. They're the worst strings on planet Earth. Anytime I feel them, they're already oxidized. They have no color. They're just horrible. In fact, these are the original strings still on there. And the only reason why I left them on there because I wanted to do the setup. And this setup took me, about an hour, because you have to set the springs, the intonation, anytime I'm dropping it down to a C sharp, my preferred setting. And I also reset the toggle switch to be more of an angle because I want it to be more diagonal than up and down. Up and down doesn't serve me. And while I'm setting the height, because the was actually too low, too high? Yeah, it was too high. So in order to set the action, the height right, you have to totally take all the tension off the strings, off the bridge, and take out a few springs, and you want to lower these posts with no tension around the back side of the blades. That's how freaking guys ruin their Floyd Roses. They're too lazy because, it's a very tedious task. But if you do it right, you didn't I have so many guitars now with a Floyd Rose. It's like, yeah, I get it. It's a real pain in the ass to raise it or lower it because the only way to properly do it is to relieve all the tension. Basically take the springs off and disconnect this and raise them by measurements. You realize that you're maybe 2 millimeters, you want to raise it or lower it by 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters, then take note of where the posts are. Because if you start turning these posts against the blade, then you get these flat spots, and this is where it sticks, it won't come back to zero. So yeah, it takes a while. It took me about an hour just to kind of get it down there. But look at that purple. I am a sucker for purple, man. But such a nice top. It's going to get scratched up. Sometimes you can buy these clear pick guards, and you can cut them. They come in a little square thing, and I think I'm going to get that before I scratch it up too much. I don't know, but basically a clear pick guard. It has an adhesive side. That's the only thing I don't like about it. I use them on acoustic sometimes, but you worry about the adhesive discoloring the paint once you put it on. But sometimes, it's like that's the negative or the con to those. But they're purposeful so that, because you see, there's already fine scratches when you're starting to play. I don't have long fingernails, but shit like that happens. But you can buy clear pick guards, adhesive type, and cut them to a certain shape and save your finish if you're heavy and you got fingernails. I've done it with acoustics. Acoustics I don't mind so much, but with electrics, it's kind of a hit and miss. I'm probably gonna put on some fret markers. This particular roasted flame maple isn't too dark, but again, I've already played it at night, and yeah, on the side markers, I totally got lost again because I can't see them in a darkened room. So I'm gonna put some fake, those luminous type markers on there. It doesn't look as pretty, but it's easy to play it better. Especially if you're trying to fake it, learning your scales. You want to be able to see things when you're playing in a medium lighted room. But so that's going to be it, guys. Yeah, so my next video I'm going to be playing this. It sounds great. I have not changed the strings on it. I kept them on there just for the purpose of the setup. It took me about an hour. The frets, I did not need to polish this particular Firefly with the stainless steel frets. They seem to be better polished with some of the other units. However, yeah, you definitely had to take the strings off because they were fake Diodario's. And you definitely had to spend some time polishing the frets, because they don't really spend a lot of time doing a setup at all. They probably go through it so quick, like, you know, they're giving you a deal, so do the shit yourself. Tees, on the other hand, you know, for what you're getting for the money, for 50 bucks, you can't go wrong, man. Because if you're just looking for a out of the box play a guitar experience that sounds good, plays right, all the frets are polished, got a good bridge too. I mean, you can't go wrong with a Tees guitar. I mean, really. Compared to all the other bullshit you're going to get, you're going to spend time fixing it. And if you don't want to spend that time, then buy a Tees guitar. You won't regret it. All right, guys. Well, that's it. What else do I have to share? I think that's about it. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing some computer stuff, man. I got to kind of change gears a little bit, you know, but I want to do one more music video, and maybe I'll do one on what the hell this was all about. I got 6 of these fans, and I don't even know how to hook them up. But part of the challenge to building computers, what I really love about them, is figuring out how to daisy chain them all, putting them in a case with all your other computer parts, because sometimes, you know, the motherboard is incompatible, and so there's a lot of things aren't always compatible with one another. So you have to kind of figure out what's going to go down. And with this case, it comes already pre-installed with 4 case fans. So it's hard to say what I'm going to do about this case, but I need it for some other reasons too. So anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out, and as always, thanks for joining my channel and subscribing. I really do appreciate it. You know, hopefully some of this information that I talk about is useful to you. What can I say? Yeah, so another Firefly. Again, the quality is really for the money. It's a no-brainer, but you know, be ready to do a setup on your own, or you're gonna have to pay somebody to do it, and that's what that workbench is there. And do it right. Don't start hammering down, screwing down on these posts with all that tension. You're gonna ruin it, man. It's not good. It's not good. And I've seen some guys on YouTube who supposedly do guitar setups, and yeah, you're adjusting the height with the tension, and you know, you're creating flat spots on those posts. That's not good. It's not a very smart move. And also, when you're doing intonation, you don't do intonations with the guitar laying down. It always has to be upright against your body, because then you're going to get false readings. And I always use my chromatic tuner, because the needle never lies. People lie, but the needle never lies. Never. All right, thanks for hanging out, guys. And again, very soon, later on today, I'll be doing another video with me playing some of these newer guitars. And we'll just do, you know, little roundabout kind of playability through them. But thanks for hanging out with me, guys. And as always, take care.